So let me now welcome two very honored guests, Washington State Representative Jim McCune, who is one of the co-sponsors of this evening. Jim. And Jim's son, Skyler, who is with us tonight. And Skyler, I understand, is going to be a public office holder pretty soon. And I am hoping that when the time comes that Skyler reaches out for support, he's the kind of guy that we want supported. So, Skyler, you're going to make some introductions for us of some of the dignitaries?
Yeah, so I'd like to take this time to introduce some of the elected officials and dignitaries that we have with us. First, we have the mayor of Lakewood, Doug Richardson. If you could stand, please. We also have Washington State Patrol Assistant Chief Greg Miller. If you could stand, please. And then we also have Pierce County Sheriff Paul Pastor with us. Right back here. And of course, you all just met my dad, State Representative Jim McCune. So, Israel is actually very important to me in particular because my grandparents, my biological grandparents that is, were Jews as well, faithfully attended the synagogue, and they recently passed away. And anyway, but from that though, they gave me a little book with some description of their background. They were Russian Jews, and then some of their family history. So that was really neat. I still have that today, of course. So I've been asked to speak to you on the importance of our continued support for the nation of Israel. So first, a little background. So we know that Israel and the United States have been formal allies since it was formed in 1948. But did you know that Jews also helped fund our war for independence? So we have Haim Solomon, that was the most prominent, and he risked his life multiple times as a spy. He also personally gave his own money to support the revolutionary cause. And then he also worked as an ambassador with other countries, securing loans from them to help us out in our fight for independence. So even today, Israel continues to work with and support us in the following areas. So first, we have the war on terrorism. It's our number one concern right now, national security. And Israel is an important ally because we face the same enemy. We're facing terrorists. They call us the great Satan. They call Israel the little Satan. And Israel knows very much about terrorism. They fight it almost every single day. And so they know how to fight it. They know they've learned a lot about who's doing what, and they pass on that intelligence to us. Next, we have technology. Israel is easily the Silicon Valley of the Middle East. Cell phone technology. Cell phone technology was developed in Israel by Motorola. Firewalls, instant messaging are just a couple other things that are unique inventions from Israel that have been passed on to the entire world, and we benefit from that today. So we also have military joint ventures. We co-developed the Arrow anti-ballistic missile system to replace the old Patriot missile system that's supposed to defend us from nuclear weapons. Also laser and satellite defense systems, and then unmanned aerial vehicles. These are all things that are co-developed with defense companies in Israel and the United States. And then business. Israel, did you know, has the second largest number of startup companies in the world next to the United States. Yeah. And also the largest number of NASDAQ listed companies outside North America. One small country the size of New Jersey boasts that much in the business world. And then also, of course, many Israeli businesses are partnered with businesses here in the U.S. So all that to say, we get a major return on investment from all that foreign aid that we send to Israel. They actually give back. What do other states, particularly the Arab states, give back? Not a whole lot. And we don't really want their oil anyway. Sad to say, yes, that's right. Also, sad to say, but some of those countries send us people to fight, not people to fight with us. Also, one thing that we've heard a lot of lately, if you've been watching the news, is an incredible example of Israel's value on human life with Gilad Shalit. Incredible that Israel would actually go through with a deal for one soldier for 1,027 exactly Palestinian terrorists. They've almost always negotiated at a disadvantage when trying to get their soldiers back. That's how much they actually care about their own. That's incredible. How many other instances in other countries can you find of that? Not many. So also, we have a lot of similarity, Israel and the United States. They have a representative democracy very similar to ours. They have similar rights for their citizens and values: freedom of speech, rule of law, due process, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, real respect for women, and so much more. I mean, it's pretty much almost every core value that you think of with our form of government here in the United States is matched by what the Israeli government has. And then also, another interesting angle to look at here is with nuclear weaponry. Israel is right now the only nuclear power of the Middle East. However, nobody has any real concerns about Israel using their nuclear weapons in anything but a defensive manner. We can't say the same if other states were to get such weapons. And then finally, survival. The Jews have no other place on earth that they can call home but that little tiny bit of land in the Middle East. And so therefore they have to fight for their existence every single day. The terrorists have stated time and again their goal is to create another Holocaust by wiping Israel and all Jews out of existence. So Israel fights hard to maintain its existence. And they take a lot of criticism for the way in which they fight, but it's really hard to see how we here in the United States would handle things any differently if we were facing that same level of threat day in and day out. And I'll close with this. The Prime Minister of Israel himself, Benjamin Netanyahu, he summed it up very well in his address to our Congress earlier this year, and I'll just give you a quick excerpt from that. He said, "Israel has no better friend than America, and America has no better friend than Israel. We stand together to defend democracy. We stand together to advance peace. We stand together to fight terrorism. In an unstable Middle East, Israel is the one anchor of stability. In a region of shifting alliances, Israel is America's unwavering ally. Israel has always been pro-American, and Israel will always be pro-American." My friends, you don't need to do nation building in Israel. They're already built. You don't need to export democracy to Israel. They've already got it. You don't need to send American troops to Israel. They defend themselves quite well. And I say, with friends like that, how can we not support them? I've never been to Israel myself, but I sure would like to visit sometime and maybe see the Knesset. Let me close with this. Just may God continue to bless Israel and America as they continue as allies.
Jim, you did a pretty good job with your son. Well, as I once said, and